up here. All right, would you pray with me? And we will kind of start on the run here as people are coming in. Father, thank you so much for this night. We are just incredibly thankful for the families in this room, the community that is represented here, and really what a privilege it is to be a part of, whether it's parent, teacher, faculty, or kid. It's just a special place to be, and we pray that your work would be accomplished this year in these hallways and gyms and fields, and just thank you so much for this time. Bless it, help it to be helpful to those that are here, and we have so much to talk about, so just pray that it can be efficient and valuable as we move forward in the year. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, we are now going to pass the mic through the teacher line and meet all of us. There'll be a test at 7:04.
Hi, I teach junior high and high school students math. Tim Bergren.
Hi, I'm Jamie Pyatt. I teach geometry and statistics.
I'm Tammy Paul, and I teach Algebra 1 and Algebra 2.
I'm Lonnie Forbes, and I teach 7th and 8th grade general math, and I'm also an SAS coach.
Hi, I'm Beth Duran, and I teach integrated math. I teach junior high and high school domestic skills, and I hang out in the library and work on testing and books.
Hello, I'm Carla Croak, and I teach 7th and 8th grade pre-algebra.
I'm Ashley Sack, and I teach freshman English.
I'm Donna Lee, and I have junior and senior English.
I am Sarah Cook, and I have 7th grade English.
I'm Tammy Taylor, and I teach Foundations of Writing.
I'm Dixie Herring, and I teach world history and early American history, and I take the 9th graders on the DC trip.
My name is Betty Porter, and I teach government, and I also teach the sophomores personal finance class.
I'm Joni Renzi, and I teach computer applications in the junior high.
I'm Jesse Pressier, better known as Mr. Fry. I teach the greatest students on campus, the 7th graders. I teach world studies, and 8th graders I teach geography.
I'm Lisa Stevens, and I'm half of the foreign language department. I teach French, and I also teach speech.
I'm Miranda Reisinger, not Freisinger, and I teach Spanish and yearbook.
I am Grayson Prettyman, and I teach the middle school science.
I'm Brendan Koch. I teach all the chemistries, AP Biology, Environmental Solutions, and STEM.
I'm Stephanie Romine. I teach anatomy and physiology and high school health.
I'm Julie Morgan, and I teach physics.
Gerald Touchstone. I teach biology to 9th graders, robotics, and applied science.
I'm Jenny Shoemaker, and I teach 8th grade English.
Alex Canfield, high school Bible.
Jay Seals, I teach high school Bible.
Matthew Price, junior high Bible.
Becky Folk, I'm the Director of Student Academic Support, or otherwise known as SAS.
Hi, I'm Chris Nelson. I'm an SAS educational coach.
Hi, I'm Tammy Alberta, and I'm an educational coach in SAS.
I'm Megan Jacobson, and me too.
I'm Kristen Armstrong. I'm administrative assistant to Becky Folk.
I'm Joe Kasuba, an SAS educational coach.
I'm Christine Overton. I'm the Director of Counseling, and I will teach dual credit psychology to juniors and seniors in the spring.
Shannon Reimer, school nurse.
Dwayne Gray, I teach photography.
Deborah Johnston, and I teach art.
I'm Austin Emery. I teach strength conditioning and junior high PE.
I'm Connor Jackson. According to Randy James, I'm the first period TA, but I'm actually the athletic director.
Good evening, I'm Wes Simmons, and I teach the high school and junior high theater arts classes, as well as the high school and junior high choir classes.
Rich Taylor, I teach band, strings, and coloring.
We love you, and you are dismissed. Thank you.
Okay, administration on this campus is, where's Rebecca? Rebecca Smith is our junior high assistant principal. She's also an instructional planning director for our campus, both campuses, our school. I don't know how I could have said that weirder. Matt Beglinger is at the back door, vice principal. I'm Kim DeMaine. I am the principal. Who we are and who we are not. You ready? Our mission statement. In partnership with Christian families and local churches, we develop the whole person by shepherding our students through a Christ-centered education, challenging them to achieve their fullest potential spiritually, academically, socially, physically, relationally, and emotionally, and preparing them with the foundation of God's unchanging truth so that they can serve Christ in a rapidly changing world. We use this as a guide to what we do and how we do it. Now, who we are not. We have junior high problems. We have high school problems. We are not a shelter. This school is not going to save your kids. Jesus is. We're your partner in that mission. You're going to hear from my teachers why they're here doing what they're doing. This is their mission field. They are here to disciple your kids in their relationship with the Lord, and they use some content to do that. They are not here because of content. They are here because of Jesus. Office hours. This is the fast, you're in the fast class, you guys. This is accelerated. Don't know what I just said. Okay. This is accelerated parent, what we're doing here. So, a lot of this is review, so I'm gonna go pretty fast. Which, oddly, I slowed down when I tried to go fast. Sorry about that. Okay, so every full-time teacher is here after school for a half hour. The time can be used to get help, and we don't even have practices scheduled during that time. That is a practice-free time. So, late work policy, still review. A student must attend office hours the same day that assignment was due in order to work out a plan. So if your student did not do an assignment, they need to attend office hours for that teacher that day, or it goes in the grade book as a missing/0. Grades. You will get emailed grades. You've already been emailed grades. Some of you were emailed multiple times this weekend. Grades. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. They've already started these progress reports. And semesterly, I may have made up that word. You also get emailed report cards. It's not paper in the mail kind of thing. I'm sorry about how I talk. Sorry about that. Okay. Microsoft Teams. This is new to us this year, and you'll be seeing Teams pages tonight in class. But this is replacing iLearnIt, okay? And it's a Microsoft product. Everybody has Office 365 accounts. All of our students do. You can have 5, how do I say it, Todd? 5 licenses for 5 devices in your family. Okay, which is huge because it's all of Microsoft. Okay, so a little look at what they see in Teams. This is where they're going to see the lesson plans. This is where they're going to get help when they are absent. So it's going to be posted here, class information. It's also going to be where your student can view all of their assignments in one spot. So there's a little assignments tab over here, and they can view all of their assignments for all their classes in one location. They've already been, this has all been reviewed with the students already. Just like in iLearnIt though, you get access through your student. Parents don't have a login to Teams, students do. Remember that. Okay, communication with teachers. Email is preferred. You should get a response within 1 school day. I say school day instead of 24 hours. Because, why do you think? Weekends, holidays. You know, like we want to create margin for all of us, right? It's a good thing. A lot of times it'll be within 24 hours, but that's the deal. Make a decision. Maybe you need to meet with the person instead of emailing or giving them a phone call. That's your call to make. But if you are going to call me, guess what I'm going to ask you if you call me? Did you talk to that person? Whoever it is, right? Okay, that is my cell phone number. Yes, I give out my cell phone number to my people. So something happens, I can always change my number, I guess. I don't plan on doing that. But that's my number. So if you've got a question, call me, text me. Don't leave me a voicemail. I won't listen to it. I don't listen to my voicemails. I literally delete them before listening to them, okay? If you text me and I don't have your number in my phone yet, tell me your name, okay? Thank you. I feel like that was like a commercial announcement or something. Okay, so here's what fuels that. This is our foundation. If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained your brother. If he does not listen, take 1 or 2 others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. Matthew 18, verses 15 through 16. So, like I said before, we want you to go directly to the person. Sometimes that doesn't work and you need to invite me along. Inviting me or contacting me is not a substitute for talking to that person. So all that's going to do is just make a little larger group at the table, which is totally fine. We'll just walk through that, okay? Where's Matthew? You're up, bud. He's coming.
Evening. I have 2 minutes, maybe, to talk about an important topic, so I'll do my best. I'm the vice principal, if you didn't catch that earlier, and we've made a few revisions, clarifications to some of our disciplinary protocols. This was based on last year, just some feedback from teachers on wanting a little bit more consistency and clarity in kind of how we handle day-to-day classroom issues. So we took a lot of feedback, had a lot of internal conversations, and have a couple new approaches. But I want to start by reading this passage. I came across this summer, and I think it really represents how we feel in general about discipleship and discipline as a parent and as a school. So Galatians 3, is the law therefore opposed to the promises of God? Absolutely not. For if a law had been given that could impart life, then righteousness would certainly have come by the law. And I'll just stop there. The idea that if rules and regulations had the ability to change hearts, it'd be easy. We just come up with the perfect set of rules and every kid walks out an angel. They don't have the power to do that. They have the power to convict. They have the power to reveal that, oh, maybe that kid's not doing so great. They have the power to hold accountable. But we've talked a lot this summer about, Paul Tripp uses the term apple nailing. So if all we focus on is external behaviors, you're taking a nice pretty red apple and you're nailing it to a dead tree. That doesn't make that an apple tree. It means we've trained a certain outcome that isn't really true. And so I tell everybody that will listen, I'm going to go too long here, I'll try to go faster. I have no interest in creating 400 kids who know how to look like they're Christians. And I don't think you do as parents either. And so everything we do when we talk about accountability and process, yes, we have to have structure. Yes, we have to hold kids accountable. Yes, we can't have kids interrupting the learning environment constantly without some kind of a plan. But just know our heart. Our heart is, that is a way to communicate, to kind of tell a story of how a kid's doing, but we're always going to look at relationship and discipleship of individual kids and knowing their hearts as we walk through stuff. So, next slide. As it continues, it says, Before the coming of this faith, we were held in custody under the law, locked up until the faith that was to come would be revealed. So the law was our guardian until Christ came, that we might be justified by faith. That's always going to be our hope, that we lead kids to a true relationship with Jesus. And like she said, it's not Full Valley that saves them, it's knowing the living God. So, next thing. So basically the summary is, we've worked with our staff on using RenWeb more in sort of little day-to-day disciplinary issues. So, why we're doing this. Number one, just as I said, be more consistent on how we handle day-to-day stuff. Two, and this was a big one, to provide more intentional feedback to you guys just on little things. Because what I find happens is we have an issue with a student that's kind of been repeating, and then I call mom and dad in November, and I say, well, truthfully, he's kind of been a struggle in these 3 classes all semester, and mom says, and we're just now hearing about it? And that's a fair response. So we're trying to encourage teachers that if it's a little thing, I asked him twice and he wouldn't stop fidgeting, so I had him leave the room. It's not the end of the world. He's not going to be kicked out of school, but it's probably worth telling mom or dad that happened. So our faculty will go to RenWeb, behavior tab, double click, level 1, distracting, email to custody, done. Sometimes that's going to be a simple form email that feels really impersonal. And just hear the heart behind that. The heart is, rather than, oh man, I never got to talking to those parents, and so you have no idea anything happened, at least a little something happened. You can email the next day or call, or hopefully they'll call if it gets worse, but we're trying to do better so you're not sideswiped by the semester's almost over and my kid's been a problem all year. And then to make better use of RenWeb logging student issues, we talked about how as a faculty, if we go into a student's behavior tab and see that, man, this kid's had a hard time in every single class, and it's nothing major, but he's not paying attention, he's distracting, well, that tells kind of a story that helps us better minister to that kid. So just trying to be a little bit more structured in how we do that. Next slide. So this is real quick. So we kind of created 4 levels. There's nothing magic to this. We're not adding them up and saying, once you get 4 level 2s, this happens. It's more, there's kind of categories. The first 2 are generally going to be handled by teachers. Level 1 is just minor stuff. Level 2 would be a little more significant, inappropriate stuff, and that's probably the point where they would send them to the office. And then the bigger stuff, when it becomes major repeated stuff, or the biggest level, like illegal, harmful, bad stuff. That's the nutshell. We got to move on. I'm happy to talk to any one of you about it, but I want you to hear the heart of why we're doing what we're doing.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, so just a review of the dress code. Dresses and skirts, knee length, fingertip length if they're wearing leggings, shorts, fingertip length. Leggings are an undergarment, not a garment, okay? Tank tops, 3-inch strap. Abrasions above the knee, cannot show skin. T-shirts with questionable references should not be worn to school. Here's the new process. We now have PE clothes that your student will be given. Instead of sending them home or calling you to get clothes, we have clothes for them that are school appropriate. We will give them to that student. Then you will be charged on your smart tuition for those clothes. I do not want them back. If your student was out of dress code, you will be receiving an email. Thank you. Cell phones, this is our review. You'll see the holders are still in the classroom, still being used. There might be an opportunity by the teacher directs it to get cell phones out, that's up to them, but they're not out during chapel. They can be used in between class, in the passing period, or at lunch, or in the office, okay? No social media posting at school. If we find out about it, you'll hear about it. Tardy policy. Tardies are no longer excused or unexcused. They're just tardy, okay? First 3 tardies now are at detention to be served the next Monday or Wednesday, 3:15 to 4 o'clock. RenWeb will email you. If there's any more tardies, then it's going to be a cycle of 2 that gets a detention. And if they're more than 20 minutes late for a class period, that's called absent. What if your student has a doctor's appointment? I encourage you to be proactive, okay? Contact the teacher of the class you know they're gonna be gone from and work it out with that teacher. Teachers are the ones that have control over calling your student tardy or not, okay? So be proactive, talk with the teacher, and we'll work something out. We are not gonna call that necessary, it just depends on the issue, right? Again, be proactive. If they have this ortho appointment that's always at the same time, we just want you to contact us so we can work something out if class time has to be missed. What if your student has car trouble and it's your fault? That's a tardy, okay? And if they have car trouble 3 times, affecting the same class, maybe I'll let you serve the detention for them. What if there's an accident on Eagle? I likely will have staff that are also impacted by that. That's going to be an all-school paged announcement. You know, there's an accident, allow the students to class. That's not going to count as a tardy, okay? Anybody need a paper bag on that? Are we good? Okay. Attendance. Email attendance at cbcsonline.org. We do have a process for pre-arranged absences. If you know they're going to be gone ahead of time, we've got a form in the office for that they need to fill out. We have a new lunch policy. They no longer can build up debt over Costa Vida lunches in Yokozuna. If they don't have any money on their account, there's a $3 meal that would have been really tasty for me today when I had half my avocado and Triscuits. Okay? $3 meal, that's the only thing they can charge if they're out of money in their lunch account, okay? So, if you're an exchange student, or if mom spent all the money, that's the lunch they can get. Okay. This has to come with an apology, all this math is crazy. Okay. Obviously, we've changed the drop-off and pickup because our main goal was extending this whole line so that the line isn't in confusion over here on 2nd and a Half Street. So far, Matt and I are pleased. I don't know if all y'all are pleased, but we like it. So the main thing is, the biggest difference is student parking is now, all the parking in front of the annex is now student parking. And this lane just over here. All of this area you guys can park in and you drop off there, but we want you to pull all the way forward as far as possible as you're dropping off and picking up. Other reminders, we've got morning supervision beginning at 7:30 with Mrs. Duran, and we've got afternoon supervision in the common or gyms with gyms, okay. We do have multiple gyms actually. That ends at 4 o'clock. Okay, so they need to be picked up by 4, or else they'll be ushered up front, but actually the office closes at 4. So good luck finding your kid. But that's not true. We wouldn't do that. That's not true. Maybe, okay. Business directory. We actually have a business directory online. Jen Miller is here tonight with Script, and she can give you more information about that. So basically, if you own a business, you can join Script, and you can get listed in the business directory, and you can earn tuition credit. And so again, Jennifer Miller is your point of contact for that program. Jennifer is going to wave. Good. Hi, Jennifer. It's good to see you. Thank you. We also need some Script volunteers. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're here working on Script orders and so forth. And so Jen would love to chat with you about that. And there's a little bit of training that's involved, but it's a great time of fellowship with other school parents. So it's great. So you can always, again, talk with her because she's here right now. You can always email her too. PTF. We also need a representative on this campus. Tricia Schindel is your main point of contact if you're interested in doing that. And they just organize different things for us on campus. And Jen Miller actually also coordinates the staff lunches. Moms in Prayer meet Tuesdays in the morning, downstairs conference room, and everyone is welcome. There is also Matt wanted me to make mention of the Megan Wiedmeyer Scholarship. I'm supposed to tell you that more information is coming. Thank you.
So if you knew Megan and you're interested in helping, you can do, right now, you can write check to CVCS, memo line, Megan Wiedmeyer. We will get more stuff on the website, but I just wanted to get that in front of you, that that's coming, and to consider donating to it. Athletics were huge on her heart, and if you knew her, she was amazing. So
got it.
Just have it in mind.
Got it. Thank you. Our business office. This is our business office. So if you've got questions, smart tuition fees, bus passes, any of those things, those are your people. Kim McCann down at the bottom there, she is the business manager. Now, is Darren Krager in the room? There he is. He's got an announcement. By the way, as he's coming up, this is the schedule you're going to be following tonight. This is what your schedule looks like. So I printed David's, my junior's schedule, okay? So basically what happens is this whole area up here is just an alphabetical listing. This is actually the schedule, okay? Students are on each of the floors. You can come on up, Darren. Students are on each of the floors to help you find your way if you get lost. Advisory is going to be first. You're going to meet that class first. And there are some classes that are not meeting, but that's on your handout. And Mrs. Bissell is here. Elsie is here. And these people were here tonight. Did you want to say something, Kina? Charger Gear location is Keena Ritchie's location. Darren Krager, I'll go back to you. There you go, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm the new security director for CVCS, all campuses. It's an unfortunate position, and I don't have to go into it with you for security. So I'll leave that at that, okay? My background, just real quick. I was a police officer some years ago. I was also 1 mile away when Columbine High School happened, so I was kind of involved with that. My wife, she's the television principal, and I've been her shadow for about 20 years in administration. I've traveled to literally hundreds of schools with her and researched different security things and procedures with schools, what they're doing, and with police departments. I'm working with the Meridian Police Department, Boise Police Department, and threat assessments and everything. So real quick, so what is this position about? Create an organized security system to be infused. And Dr. Jordan, our new superintendent, loves that word, and I do too. Because when something's infused, you can't separate it, okay? It's in there. So we're going to infuse this into our culture. Into our culture, who we are. For crisis prevention, that's big. Crisis prevention and crisis management. We will not live in ignorance or fear, but first and foremost, in the hope and love in Jesus Christ. Utilizing the skills and the wisdom that He provides for us. We will, as I've talked to the staff many, many times, and continue, we will be aware and we will be prepared. Target areas. First and foremost, target areas. Strengthening prayer warriors. I'm calling out all dads and grandpas. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's first and foremost. Prayer warriors. God first when it comes to security. Second thing, we're enhancing our communications, okay? Outside of facilities and the IT department with camera systems, alarms, we're enhancing communications with individually with teachers, directly with teachers in the office, with radios, and just enhancing that whole area for quick responses. Defense, yes, we're going to be defensive, okay? With the buildings. Kim talked about earlier about our perimeter, what we're locking our doors, we're going to have perimeters and locking stuff in, but we're not going to be a prison. We're not going to be a prison. We're a school, okay? But once again, we're not going to put our head in the sand. So we're going to strengthen the defenses with the buildings and personnel. You know, last year I dealt all last year with the elementary school, and for those who see some faces that were over there, last year, worked with the teachers directly. And so the teachers are being trained in certain areas and learning defense, and the office personnel. And so, once again, we're prepared and aware. Also in the last one, enhancing our first aid, kind of doing a triage kind of thing with the first aid kits, and just kind of enhancing that. So that's a quick overview. So back to the first one, strengthen prayer warriors with our dads and grandpas. Prayer first, God first. Isaiah 31. What sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for trusting their horses, chariots, charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies, instead of looking to the Lord. For the Egyptians are mere humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. The security, first and foremost, we're a Christian school, and our strength is going to come from the Lord. I'm not going to depend on my strength, of course, not yours. First and foremost, the Lord. Psalms 28:7, we know this. The Lord is my strength and shield. The Lord is my strength and shield. The Lord is my strength and shield. I trust in Him with all my heart. And that's what I want us all to do when it comes to this area of security. Okay? So, I'm hurrying. Sorry. So, what am I calling out for all dads? Well, we're at the elementary campus last year. I called out dads to kind of start a ministry. We called it Mighty Men's Warriors, Mighty Men Prayer Warriors, Mighty Men's Ministry. Basically, I'm asking dads to step up if you have time. In the mornings, at lunch times, in the afternoons. If you've got 2 minutes, if you've got 15 minutes to volunteer, I'll bring you up to speed, give some education real quick, but I need some volunteers for the drop-offs in the morning, lunchtime, when the kids are out of the building, and during pickup. That's when our kids and children are vulnerable. So I'm asking for help there. We'll have suits, we'll have reflective vests, and we'll have radios, and I can get more on that later. So I'm asking dads to volunteer, and then what we're going to do also is, with this ministry, I want us to lock arms. We're a family. You all see each other 5 days a week. This is God's family right here. You see 5 days a week, 12 years if your children are from start to finish. This is a church family here. I want us to lock arms. Lock arms, dads, men. Over there at the elementary campus, we have a great need for a male presence. And that's another unfortunate thing in our culture today. So, outside, I'm getting there. Outside, outside, I've got sign-up sheets. Please sign up to be part of this men's ministry. You just have to have a background check. We're also going to meet every Thursday, third Thursday of every month. Yes. And so we'll get together for prayer and all that stuff. So, anyways, more later.
Amen. Okay, you are dismissed to advisory. Sorry,